You ready? I've been ready. What are we waiting for?
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Live from the Built Ford Tough studio at FedEx Forum, it's the Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South, on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Now, here's your host, Gary Parrish.
My name is Gary Parrish, speaking to you from Augusta, Georgia. Bennett Doyle back in Memphis producing the program. Glad he's with me. Glad you're with me. Hope you're getting through the day best you can.
Well, Daddy lost most everything on horses, whiskey, and wedding rings.
And I hope you're ready for what is going to be the final Grizzlies Summer League game of 2025. It's almost over. It's almost over. Can they go out with a victory? We'll find out later on today. It's the Grizz and the Hawks, Cox Pavilion, Las Vegas. We'll talk all things Las Vegas Summer League. We'll do it in a second. First, though, quickly, let me set today's schedule for you. When we finish this open, we're going to take a break, come back, do 5 more things you need to know, at which point we're going to discuss 5 previously undiscussed stories, among them Shane Gillis hosted the ESPYs last night, delivered a monologue that goofed on, among others, President Trump, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Megan Rapinoe, Shadur Sanders, the Epstein case, and the WNBA. It was hilarious, I thought. A little awkward at times, but mostly hilarious. I'll get Bennett's thoughts. We'll do it in about 25 minutes or so. Bradley Beal has agreed to a buyout with the Phoenix Suns and will be a member of the Los Angeles Clippers. Is that now a top 4 team in the West? Some folks are saying so. We'll discuss in just a bit. Pete Davidson and Elsie Hewitt have announced they're pregnant with their first child. Congrats to those young loved birds. We'll celebrate their big news a little later on in the show. The Open Championship is underway at Royal Portrush in Northern Ireland. I'll tell you where Scotty and Rory are at. We'll do that in the next segment. And the NCAA's live recruiting period is back underway as of today. That's why I'm on the road at Peach Jam the rest of the week. We'll spend a few minutes on that during a segment we call 5 More Things You Need to Know. And then we'll eventually do GP's Carryout, and we'll call it a day. So that's the rundown. We got a lot to get to. But I did want to start with Summer League basketball because, believe it or not, that's still going on. And the Grizz will play once again today at 5 o'clock. Cox Pavilion is 5 o'clock Central, 4:45 pregame on the Grind City Media app. The Grizz Open Summer League, if you're keeping track, it was in Salt Lake City back on July 5th. Played 3 games there, then flew to Las Vegas. And now tonight, 12 days after it all began, the Grizzlies will conclude their summer activities with a game again against the Hawks, 5 p.m. Central inside Cox Pavilion. Pregame starts 4:45 Central on the Grind City Media app. Jessica Benson going to be in studio alongside CJ Hurt and Lane Whitaker. Pete Pranica will join them live from Las Vegas. They will have a pregame, halftime, and postgame show. Again, it all starts 4:45 Central on the Grind City Media app. Big Bet Bennett, good to see you on this morning. Where are you at on Summer League? 12 days and 6 games into this thing. Are you still enjoying it? Did you ever enjoy it? What I want to know is, on a scale of 1 to 7, where was your excitement level heading into Game 1 of the Salt Lake Summer League? And then I want you to tell me where it's at now. How much has your interest waned?
It was definitely a 7 going into it. But I would say that now my interest is, and this happens every year, and I always forget that it goes like this. My interest now is probably at about I'll still give it a 5. Like, I'm always excited to watch our guys play. But it starts out and you're like, okay, what are the big storylines for the Grizzlies going into Summer League? What's Jaylen Wells going to look like? What's Gigi going to look like? What's Cam Spencer going to look like after getting his new deal? What are the rookies going to look like? And then, if you lose basically one game, it's like, okay, well, we don't really have a chance to win a Summer League championship. And so your interest kind of starts to fade a little bit. And then guys inevitably sit, if there's a back-to-back, stuff like that. So it kind of fades as the thing goes on, I've come to learn.
Every year, it's the exact same thing. And what I've realized, just sort of thinking through it, the Las Vegas Summer League is pretty much like any other trip to Las Vegas. The feelings attached are similar. You wouldn't know, obviously. You've never been to Las Vegas. You wouldn't know what I'm talking about. But let me explain it to you. It's exhilarating at the beginning. Mm-hmm. You're excited. You can't wait. When the wheels touch down, you're ready to go. By the end of it, you are exhausted and usually just ready for it to be over. That's my experience with Las Vegas, at least. There is no bigger discrepancy in any airport in the world than the discrepancy in moods between people arriving at Harry Reid International Airport in Las Vegas and the people departing Harry Reid International Airport in Las Vegas. Upon arrival, you're pumped. Upon departure, you're beaten down and likely down a lot of money, and more than anything, just ready for the whole thing to be over. And that is the way I think Summer League feels as well. At the beginning, it's like, let's go. I can't wait to see everybody. And by the end, you're like, are they still doing this? And why is so-and-so not playing? And I guess we're just never going to see Cedric Coward. That's the other thing that comes into play for us, is that the most exciting thing about Summer League every year is getting a look at your rookies. Like, who did you select and how are they going to look? And the Grizzlies selected 3 players in the 2025 NBA draft: Cedric Coward, Javon Small, and Jamai Mayek. Coward hasn't played at all because of the shoulder surgery he's recovering from. Small hasn't played since July 5th with a soft tissue injury. And Mayek has appeared in 4 games and showed some encouraging stuff, but he was also, the third of the 3 draft picks, the one who is not going to, at least as of this moment right now, is not under contract. So we didn't even get the stuff that would normally be exciting about Salt Lake Summer League or Las Vegas Summer League, specifically getting a real look at your lottery pick or at your second pick in the draft and getting excited about what you see or what you do not see. We were robbed of that for injury reasons, and so that ripped away a little bit of the excitement as well. But I still think, broadly speaking, by the time you're at Game 7 of a summer league, you've seen about everything you wanted to see relative to the people who are on the court. And I bet you if you polled the people, the coaching staff or the folks on the roster, they're probably ready to get out of Las Vegas and get back home and settle into what will be a more normal offseason. You think that poll would reflect that?
Yeah, and I mean, you see in the crowds too, right? Like people have kind of left after the weekend. And it's funny, like, you go back to, I guess, just talking about like the Jaren era of the Grizzlies, like this is kind of how it goes. Like Jaren's rookie year, he comes in, that we talked about the other day, has the huge game where he hits like a million threes. And then I don't think he played much the rest of the way. Ja's rookie year, he didn't play at all. They actually won the championship. Brandon Clark was the Summer League MVP. But you didn't see Ja that Summer League. And then, Zach Edey last year, right? He twisted the ankle. So you've kind of had like, it kind of does go a certain way, right? Like your high level, top draft picks, they typically aren't playing through this whole thing. And you're seeing it with teams all over the league, right?
Yeah, I mean, Cooper Flagg got shut down after 2 games in Las Vegas. So I think this is not unique to Grizzlies fans or you and I. I think it's probably more true with Grizzlies fans or you and I right now because, again, the 11th pick in the draft did not play in Summer League. The second player you selected in the 2025 NBA draft only played 1 game in Summer League. So we never got to, at least the Mavericks fans got 2 games of watching their lottery pick. We didn't get that with the Grizzlies for reasons that are totally understandable, but still, like, we never got a chance to get excited about that. But either way, whether you get to see Cooper Flagg or not, Cedric Coward or not, I do think by the time you get to this point, it's like, and I bet you even boots on the ground, you mentioned the crowds, the whole vibe around the whole thing is just different on this day than it was on the day that the whole thing launched, which again is sort of a reflection of just trips to Las Vegas in general, which is, unless it's work related for me, I've told you this before, I try not to ever stay more than 3 days out there. If work requires it, then work requires it. But just going for fun, you never need more than like 3 nights in Las Vegas. You try to do more than that, you start getting disoriented and losing track. There was a trip out there. It was a work trip, but those work trips to Vegas often turn into playtime as well. It was July 2010, and the only reason I remember it was July 2010 is because the trip was happening at a time when Lorenzen Wright was missing. His body had not been found yet, so we didn't know how bad this was going to get. But it had become, national news. Former NBA player Lorenzen Wright is a missing person. And I was on a flight from Vegas back to Memphis, and I had been there, 3 nights or however long it was, but ready to get back home. And on the plane, it was a direct from Las Vegas to Memphis, and I assumed there was going to be then a connection that you could take from Memphis to New Orleans, because at the time Chris Paul was a member of the New Orleans franchise, and he was on this flight. I was out there for AAU basketball, grassroots stuff, and USA basketball was also there. And so that's why Chris Paul was out in Vegas. Lionel Hollins was out there. I believe Rudy Gay. I just remember being on this flight, and we were all sitting together. It's like, there's Chris Paul, there's Lionel Hollins, there's Rudy Gay, here's me, and various other people. And we got stuck on the tarmac. Like, the plane was not leaving. We were sitting on a plane on the tarmac, but we were not going anywhere. And it was becoming increasingly clear we were probably going to have to get off of this plane. But I remember everybody talking, and the conversation turned to Lorenzen at some point, and it was just interesting hearing their perspective, because I was around Lorenzen Wright, but didn't know him like these guys knew him. Like, Rudy was his teammate, and I just remember people sort of laughing about it, and they were like, "Well, Lorenzen's missing, but like, what he's up to? He's down in the Bahamas with somebody, or down in, he's in Jamaica with somebody, or he was at, some island living life, and he ain't missing as much as he's just sort of disappeared on us." Like, that was genuinely what the NBA players on the plane thought. Like, nobody's mind was going to, "Oh my God, is this really, really bad?" It was all, everybody was kind of laughing and chuckling. Either way, here's my point. We got off that plane, and we were stuck in Las Vegas for an extra night. and when I say we, I should just say me. They weren't. They actually, from the Delta plane, Chris Paul booked a private jet back to Memphis and invited Rudy on it and invited Lionel Hollins on it, I believe. And I didn't get an invitation. I was waiting on one. I was waiting at some point for somebody to say, GP, if you want to jump on it, you can. And nobody ever offered. So I was stuck in Vegas for an extra night. I go back to the hotel, and because you might think, oh, man, extra night in Vegas with nothing to do. Like, go have a party. I swear to God, I got off that plane, went back to the hotel, checked in, and turned on a movie and never left the hotel again. I had just had enough of it. Like, it was too much. Once you've checked out mentally of Las Vegas or been there too long, which has caused you to check out mentally, it is hard to check back in. And that was only like day 4 or 5 of a trip. I can't imagine what it's like for these guys being there as long as they've been there. And before that, even being in Salt Lake City. So I bet you everybody is worn out just a little bit, ready to get back home just a little bit. And we'll see if that shows up on the court tonight. Bennett, is there anything, or what's the most interesting thing you're hoping to see tonight when the Grizzlies and Hawks take the court, Cox Pavilion, shortly after 5 p.m. Central?
I mean, if we're assuming everyone is going to play, which I think that's a big assumption, for me, I would like to see, because Jaylen Wells had a big game against I think, was it the Sixers? It was the one before the Warriors game the other night. And then nobody was good against the Warriors the other night, really. I mean, it was just Cam Spencer had 23 points, but overall it was a disappointing performance against the Warriors. I'd like to see Jaylen Wells have another huge game, just because, coming into the season, I think he's the guy that we know that this team is going to be relying on a lot. So I'd like to see him have a huge game. Again, we've talked so much about Gigi. And obviously, you want to see Gigi have big performances, but I think it's still yet to be determined what his role is going to be on this team. We know what Jaylen Wells' role is going to be on this team. He's likely going to be a starter. So, yeah, I want to see him have a big bounce-back performance tonight if he plays.
On Jaylen Wells, let me ask you this. Obviously started as a rookie for a playoff team, finished top 3 in Rookie of the Year voting, was awesome relative to any reasonable expectations, and honestly was really good relative to even unreasonable expectations. When you're picked where he's picked, you're not supposed to be starting for a playoff team, but he did. He was great. Does it concern you at all that, in theory, somebody who started that many games for a playoff team and finished top 3 in Rookie of the Year, they're not even in Summer League to begin with, but he is. And we've watched him play, and he's been fine. But he has not looked, as they say, too good for Summer League. That is often a thing. You bring back a second-year player, or in some cases even a third-year player. You put him out there and you go, okay, that's what we wanted to see. He's too good for this setting. Let's get him out of it. Jaylen Wells has been fine, but he hasn't ever really looked too good for Summer League. And is that something that matters to you?
It's not something that necessarily matters to me. I don't think we're gonna look up, when we start the season and say, well, the signs were there because look at how he did in Summer League. But I mean, I would say overall, Vernon said it yesterday when he sat in here, it's been kind of a disappointing Summer League. We can say that. I mean, this team's got real NBA players on it, and they're not even going to, compete for the Summer League championship. So I don't want to sit here and act like I'm overly concerned about it or anything like that because, again, it's Summer League. I don't want to put a ton of stock into everything that happens at Vegas Summer League because there's a lot of factors as to probably why things go the way they do at Vegas Summer League. But, yeah, I would say overall it's been kind of disappointing. And so, yeah, I again, not super concerned, but I would say maybe a little concerned. Maybe just,
I think that's
maybe just a teeny bit. Sure.
I wouldn't even say teeny bit. I am, let me be clear, unconcerned. But it is something I noticed. It is something that's noticeable. There isn't
it's noticeable. Yeah.
It's noticeable that he hasn't just gone out there and overwhelmed the competition the way you might think a reigning top 3 Rookie of the Year finisher might, or somebody who started all those games for a playoff team might. He just hasn't done those things. And maybe it's an indication that the ceiling for all top 3 Rookie of the Year finishers isn't necessarily the same. Like, he's obviously a real NBA player and going to be a real NBA player for a long time, but how much room for growth is there? I guess I'd say this. Typically, you see somebody finish top 3 rookie of the year, start all these games for a playoff team, and you go, man, what can he be in 2 years, 3 years? Are we talking all? If he's doing this as a rookie, is he an all-star by year 4? And I don't think we've ever even really entertained those types of conversations connected to Jaylen Wells' name too much. And I don't think much or anything has happened in Las Vegas that would make you change that conversation. Concerning? No, not really, but just a reminder that, just he was starting for a playoff team. Maybe this is the best way to put it, out of necessity, in large part, rather than it being a true reflection on where his career might go. I mean, he's a guy, if we're being honest, he could end up starting more games as a rookie than he ends up starting in year 3. Like that's not the craziest
I think that's true, yes.
That's not the craziest thing in the world. And this summer league experience, both in Salt Lake City and Las Vegas, has perhaps been a reminder of that. Jamai Mayek continues to be the story, in part because Cedric Howard is unavailable and Javon Small has mostly been unavailable. And there's an interesting story. Drew Hill had DailyMemphian.com today where he actually picked up the phone and called Rick Barnes, the Tennessee coach, who has been coaching Jamai Mayek and helped develop him. And among the other quotes, here's what Rick Barnes said to Drew Hill, again, straight from DailyMemphian.com. Quote, if I were to coach against Jamai Mayek like I did against Tony Allen, I can assure you after the game you would be saying, I want that guy on my team, end quote. So there's your first Jamai Mayek, Tony Allen comparison from Jamai Mayek's former college coach. That's encouraging. We've said Lou Dort. We've said Alex Caruso. Tony Allen is undeniably the most important, and I say this as a compliment, most important role player in the history of the Grizzlies franchise. And if you are, 4 games into Summer League, that's how many Mayek has played so far, already getting comparisons to the greatest role players in the NBA, and your college coach is comparing you to the greatest role player in the history of the Grizzlies franchise, that's encouraging stuff. And I think if you are looking for a real bright spot at a Summer League, it's that when the Grizzlies selected Jamai Mayek with the last pick of the draft, you didn't really know what to expect because you look at the numbers and it suggests that he is obviously talented on one end of the court, but maybe can't do much on the other. And the truth is he has shown an ability in 4 Summer League games. It's just 4, but it is 4. He's shown the ability to be a ball mover. He's shown the ability to make open threes, and obviously the tenacity and the physical attributes he brings to the defensive end of the court. It's easy to see how all that can translate. I guess this is what I'm saying. 3 weeks ago, if you would have asked me, is Jamai Mayek an NBA player, like a real NBA player going to end up on a real NBA roster someday, I'd say maybe. I don't know. I've been surprised before, but if I had to bet my 401k like you made me do it, I'd probably bet the safer bet seems no. And maybe that it still is the safer bet, but I've seen enough to know that there's enough interesting stuff there. You can make something out of what you got with him. The physical attributes combined with the mindset, the way he thinks of himself, the way he thinks about the game, the stuff that matters to him and the stuff that doesn't. Like, I can make something out of that. And I think the Grizzlies are recognizing they might have hit on something here. And I am no longer a skeptic of Jamai Mayek. I don't know that I ever was. I don't know that I put that much thought into him. I do a first-round mock draft, and Jamai Mayek's name never came close to that. So I don't know that I was ever a skeptic. I really never thought that much about him. But after seeing him perform 4 games in Summer League so far, I believe that's a real NBA player, and it's not hard for me to imagine him helping the franchise someday.
I completely agree. As far as like the Tony Allen comparison, Tony Allen was Big 12 Player of the Year, so Jamai Mayek was not that in college. But
people forget that Tony Allen was the Big 12 Player of the Year.
Right. So, but I completely agree with everything you said. Like Jamai Mayek, he's played great. I think one thing that's been really awesome to see that I wasn't as familiar with is, man, just watching it, there's no hesitation. Like, he knows what he's doing when he's out there. He knows where he's going with the ball. He obviously knows where to be on defense. We've seen that, and I think that is without question going to translate to the NBA. And then, of course, being able to hit an open 3, like, that is going to be everything for him, because if he gets to play NBA minutes, that shot's going to be there for him. And if he can knock it down with the defense he brings to the table and just the overall basketball IQ, like he's got a real shot for sure.
And this should be a lesson for every young man or woman, but specifically the young men I'm about to go watch just as soon as this show's over and, through midnight tonight. Like most of, or at least a lot of, the greatest high school basketball players in the country are here right now. They'll be in a gym. And, one of them is going to become the next Kevin Durant, Anthony Edwards, Jason Tatum. But most of them are going to become just college players and then whatever. But to the extent that these group of people are going to make it to the NBA, most of them will, if they get there at all, become role players for the first time in their lives. And the people who understand how to embrace that and maximize it, you could make $100 million doing that. And the people who never quite understand how to tap into it, they come and go pretty quickly. And Mayek seems, every time he talks, I'm impressed by him. He seems to understand this is the way I can impact basketball games. Yeah, I can make an open three, but I probably don't need to take 10 of them. But I can make one I can make 1 out of 2. I can make 2 out of 4. I can make 3 out of 7, and that could be good enough. There'll be games where I score double figures, but I don't need to do that to have a role on a basketball team, to impact winning on a basketball team. And if I were a grassroots coach, I would be telling my players the Tony Allen story and the Alex Caruso story. And now, if this keeps on the track, it seems like it's headed down, the Jamai Mayek story. This guy was never the best player on his college team. This guy was never going to get the most shots on any college team he was on. But he has the physical attributes to do something meaningful at the NBA level, and that's stay in front of people and just be a menace on the defensive end of the court. And then on the offensive end of the court, you don't have to develop the greatest step-back jumper in the NBA. You don't have to compete with James Harden for that kind of stuff. Can you move the ball when you get it, or if you're open, take an open three and make it consistently? That's it. Do those things, and you can make $100 million. Now, I'm oversimplifying it. It ain't easy to be able to do all those things, but he seems to understand if I can just do those things, I can carve out a place in this world playing basketball for a lot of money. And it is smart, really smart for a young person to understand that. And the most impressive thing about Mayek is that he seems to have understood it for a while. Some guys are stars in college and then have to adjust to being role players in the NBA. All he has ever been is a role player since he graduated high school. He has been a role player on every basketball team he's been on, and that seems to be all he's trying to be right now. With the Grizzlies, with the hustle, how can I impact winning? He is built the right way, and he seems wired the right way. That's a great combination. You find me somebody who has the physical attributes to succeed in that league, and then show me that they're wired the right way, made of the right stuff, I got something to work with. He's not under contract right now, but I will personally be surprised and disappointed if they don't figure out a way to keep him under the Grizzlies umbrella in some form, because I didn't know what they were getting on the night that they selected him exactly, but I have a better sense of that now. I think we all have a better sense of that now, and there's some impressive stuff in there. I don't want to overstate anything that happens in Summer League. I apologize if it sounds like that's what I'm doing. We've gotten excited about players in Summer League before, but listening to him talk, watching him move, and then seeing the numbers connected to three-point shooting, it feels like there's some real stuff to work with there, and I'd be interested to see where it goes from here. Whether we'll see him tonight at 5 o'clock against the Hawks, we'll find out a little later on the day. You never know who exactly is and isn't going to play in a Summer League game, but so far, Jamai Mayek has been among the stories of Grizz Summer League, and if he's on the court tonight, a lot of attention will be placed upon him to see if he can keep this encouraging Summer League going and end it on what they would call a high note. When we come back, the ESPYs were last night. I actually turned them on. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was named Best Male Athlete. No argument from me. Philadelphia Eagles were named Best Team. We'll see. Shane Gillis hosted and delivered a monologue that's getting a lot of attention. We'll dive through all of it next. Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South.
We are drafting our best movies of the 21st century.
Arguably the greatest superhero movie of all time. I'll go with Dark Knight.
That was going to be my
Give it to me. Give it to me, Dark Knight.
I'm sorry. I already hate this draft.
Yeah.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Are you ready?
Creed. By overwhelming demand, the Summer of '99 tour returns. July 27th, FedEx Forum. With very special guest, Daughtry. And Mammoth. Tickets on sale now at LiveNation.com. Don't miss Creed with Daughtry and Mammoth. The Summer of '99 tour.
1, 2, 3. Ready, go.
Shinedown. Dance Kid Dance Tour. Live in Memphis. FedEx Forum, Saturday, August 30th. With special guests, Bush and Morgan Wade. Get tickets now at LiveNation.com. Shinedown, live in concert. For more, visit Shinedown.com.
These are the Jordan 1, the crystals. These are the shoe that retails for $1,000. Oh, extra crystals. So if your crystals fall off, if your crystals fall off, actually these are the black crystals because they have. So the shoe has black crystals on there as well too. So you get an extra package of black crystals.
The Sneak Fest Show, live Tuesdays at 2 p.m. on Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
Unpredictable, unforeseen, and unscheduled, and Ortho South understands this better than anyone. Since your injuries don't make appointments, you don't need to either, and that's because Ortho South welcomes walk-ins during the weekdays and the evenings, and even on Saturdays. So next time an unforeseen injury makes an unscheduled appearance in your life, visit orthosouth.org to find your nearest urgent care location. Just walk in, and Ortho South will take care of everything, especially you. Learn more at orthosouth.org. That's orthosouth at orthosouth.org. Now I got 5 more things you need to know.
Number 1.
The ESPYs were held last night in Los Angeles. Shane Gillis was hosting. Among the big winners, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, named Male Athlete of the Year. No argument for me. If you win a scoring title, an MVP, and then lead your team to an NBA championship, seems like you're probably in good position to be named Male Athlete of the Year. Team of the Year, the Philadelphia Eagles. Bennett, I don't like it. My Thunder were robbed. Thunder up.
Oh, I don't think. I mean, come on, dude. That would be a little. That would be a little stale if you just gave all the awards to the freaking Thunder. That'd be the most boring ESPYs of all time.
The freaking Thunder, who had the best point differential in the history of the NBA regular season. The freaking Thunder, who had the MVP and the scoring champ. The freaking Thunder, who rolled through the 2025 NBA playoffs despite a lack of playoff scars and a lack of veterans. The freaking Thunder are your 2025 NBA champions. How is that not the team? How is that not the team of the year? Best record in the entire NBA, had the MVP, and then won the championship. I don't like it. I think they were robbed.
Well, I mean, it's not like they beat a historically great team like the Philadelphia Eagles did.
There are no historically great teams in the NBA other than them. They can't do that. They would have to beat themselves to beat a historically great team, Bennett. You're going to hold the Oklahoma City Thunder responsible for a lack of all-time historically great teams elsewhere in the NBA. It's not their fault.
Again, this show is
Sam
about.
Presti can only build the Thunder. He can't build all the other NBA teams. He can only build one team. He built it into a historically great team, and now you're holding it against him that other people can't do what he's done. I don't think that's fair.
The ESPYs are not about being this is an award show. This is about entertainment. If you give all the awards to the Oklahoma City Thunder, no one's going to watch. All right? I'm just being honest, okay? No one's going to watch the show. They're going to turn it off.
This is why Kanye jumped on stage that one time. All right? This is exactly why Kanye jumped on stage that one time.
Okay.
Back before he lost himself in whatever it is he's lost himself
Yeah, whatever
in.
happened there, yeah.
I don't really know what happened there, but
I watched
I'm sure
too, by the
a
way.
lot of documentaries on it.
So it's funny. Yesterday, me and JB.
Give the awards to the right people. That's what I say.
So when me and JB were talking yesterday about how once you get to like late July, it kind of gets a little. Late July before August is typically how do I phrase a slower time in the sports calendar. And so
man.
I joked with her yesterday. I was like, "Oh yeah, the ESPYs must be cut up soon." She was like, "The ESPYs are actually on tonight." I was like, "Okay, you know what? I'll watch the ESPYs this year."
Well, it is strategically and specifically placed in this week every year. You want to know why? There is nothing else happening.
There's nothing else on. And I actually really enjoyed it. I thought they did a good show last night. I found myself thoroughly enjoying the ESPYs, which is not something that I could say that often about the ESPYs.
I don't know that I thoroughly enjoyed,
but it was fine to have on my TV. Like
I had it. Here's my story.
I didn't change it. I didn't change the channel.
Here's my story. I flew from Memphis to Atlanta to Augusta, got to my hotel right as the show was starting, turned it on and wasn't feeling so well. And so just laid down and I just laid there mindlessly watching the ESPYs. No phone in my hand, no computer open. I just laid there like a dog, feeling tired. And just had my eyes on the ESPYs. And I will say, I don't know that I was thoroughly entertained, but it was fine. It was a fine television show, and I thought Shane Gillis was terrific. He's just hilarious, and I know he's not for everybody, but he's funny. He's hilarious.
Yes,
he
had some good jokes last night.
I mean,
he made everybody cringe. The crowd sucked. Like they were just they wouldn't laugh at his jokes, and I'm just like, come on, man. Yeah, well, I know what y'all are doing.
Well, that's a weird crowd because think of it in these terms. You're a stand-up. I've been a fan of stand-up my whole life. I used to sneak and watch Eddie Murphy Delirious, Eddie Murphy Raw. Bill Cosby himself was a famous stand-up special from my childhood. Oh, buddy, I don't know that one aged so well. I don't know that it aged so well, but at the time, it was a big deal. I've been watching stand-ups my entire life. I love stand-up comedy. And typically at a stand-up show, a comedian, outside of like open mics and stuff like that, but certainly by the time you get to the level of Shane Gillis or Nate Bargatze or a level above that even, Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock, you play in big rooms, and the people there are there to see you. They spent their money. Yeah. And they got in their cars and they came to wherever they came to see you because they like you. That's usually who you're talking to. Then you throw somebody like Shane Gillis on Saturday Night Live, which he's done, or in this room where you have people from all walks of life. And some of the people in the crowd, like the crowd breaks down like this. There are some people in the crowd with great sense of humor, and they're going to laugh at the jokes just because they're funny, whether they agree with them or not, whether they're cringy or not. Funny stuff is funny, and they're going to laugh at those things. Then you're going to have another group of people in the audience, an audience like last night, who don't even know who you are, all right? They just genuinely are unfamiliar with you. They've never seen you before. Now, that's probably harder today than it would have been 2 years ago because Shane Gillis has kind of been everywhere over the past couple of years. But there were people in that crowd last night who don't know who he is. And then there's people who are just waiting to be offended by jokes. And so you get that mix of people in a room together. It can make for a weird room. But I thought it was hilarious. Like the jokes he's funny. He's just my introduction to him is kind of interesting. Like I was aware of him and then I forgot about him. And then I discovered him again, and then I connected all the dots and got the whole story pieced together. So I remember, for people who don't know the story, Shane Gillis was like hired as an SNL cast member several years back, and before he ever even appeared on the show, was fired because this is the way it works. Hey, the biggest break in your career just happened. Congratulations. Now people are going back and looking through everything you've ever tweeted, everything you've ever posted, everything you've ever said anywhere, and they're trying to find things to make you look bad. And, oh, buddy, they found some things that made him look not so great. Like, he said some things that even he has acknowledged, like, yeah, I don't. Even in his SNL monologue, the first time he hosted, said something along the lines of, yeah, I used to work here, got fired. Don't look that up. Don't Google that. Don't Google that. So he's like had fun with it as well. So I remember that little controversy, and then I just forgot about it completely. And then I just started seeing like little stand-up clips popping on Instagram or TikTok or wherever it is you see clips of things. And I remember one time I sent it to like a group text, and I don't even remember what the joke was, but it was something that made me laugh, and it was the type of thing that I knew would make these other people laugh. And so I sent it to them, and they said, oh, so you like the MAGA comedian now? And I was like, what is this going? And I was like, the MAGA comedian? Huh? And they were like, oh yeah, Shane Gillis, he's like a big MAGA guy. And I was like, really? And then that was always in the back of my head. And then I just kept watching like stand-up specials and stuff, and he's just like funny. And the truth is, if you watch the stand-ups, like he's got jokes for everybody. I don't doubt that he might have voted in an election differently than me. But I also I judge the guy on like what he actually says and how he actually performs. And more than anything, I just find him to be funny, like genuinely hilarious. And I thought that was evident last night. He was funny. Did he make people uncomfortable by being hilarious? Yes, but he was funny. I thought he handled it pretty well. I don't know if he'll be asked back, but I thought he handled it pretty well.
It was like a stunt, frankly, that he pulled where he had his buddy in the crowd with his wife and said it's former I can't even remember the name he gave, but he was like
Britney something.
Yeah, and it's former WNBA star so-and-so, and everybody starts clapping, and he's like, I'm just kidding. That's my best friend's wife. He goes, I knew none of y'all knew anybody in the WNBA. I was like, damn. That's pretty good, dude.
But that made me laugh.
Yes.
I know it makes other people offended. Like, why are you making fun of the WNBA?
That's comedy, bro. It's making fun of people. It's making you uncomfortable. That's the whole point.
I will die on this hill. I will not get offended by a joke.
No.
You're not going to make me mad by a joke.
Never.
I'm just not. I will go watch Dave Chappelle, and I will laugh at the funny stuff. I'll go watch Ricky Gervais, and I will laugh at the funny stuff. And I don't care if it's offensive. I mean, there are lines I guess you can cross, but good luck, because I'm probably not going to be the person who's bothered by it. Laughing is involuntary. People laugh at funny things. I laugh at funny things even when they're wrong. You can have a funny joke, and I go, ooh, buddy, don't put that on tape anywhere. Don't say that one out loud again. Don't say that one out loud at work. But, yeah, that was funny. I'll laugh at that. I am going to hold on to the right to laugh at funny things. So if I were doing a 9-minute monologue last night, would I have hit on every joke that he hit on the way that he did? No, probably because I'm not as funny as him. But I'm not going to be bothered by what he and his writers come up with. The guy's funny. Be funny. We have lost something when we have reached a point where we don't want comedians pushing boundaries too far because it might offend some group of people or some specific person. Get up there, man, and if you're funny, make me laugh. And he did a pretty good job of that last night.
Yeah, and one of my favorite narratives going around the internet today is you'll see some accounts, the typical accounts, being like, he really stuck it to ESPN last night, and it's like, bro, they asked him to host the show.
They know who he is.
You think they didn't know what they were getting into when they asked him to host this?
They know who he is, and again, he had jokes for everybody. He dragged Trump. He dragged the Epstein case. He dragged Shedeur
That was
Sanders.
a pretty funny one too.
He dragged the WNBA. He had jokes for everybody.
Yeah.
And I don't understand a world, or at least I don't agree with a world where you can joke about these people and these people and these people, but you got to leave these people alone. Like, I like jokes, and if they're funny, like, I'll laugh at them. So, and yeah, ESPN, they knew who they hired. They knew who he was. And honestly, for a monologue like that, there ain't a word that comes out of his mouth that hasn't already been approved. Like, all of that is in a prompter. He's reading those jokes to you.
Oh yeah, even the ones that didn't get applause, he was like, I didn't write that one. He's like, I told him to take that one out.
Even the Megan Rapinoe joke I thought was funny. Just simple but funny. Megan Rapinoe is not here tonight. Nice. And then people are like, ooh. He's like, oh, what? We're going to pretend she's a good time? Like, that's funny.
Oh, yeah.
You can like Megan Rapinoe and agree with every cause she stands for, but that was still a funny joke.
Yes.
You know? That was still a funny joke. You can agree with Megan Rapinoe, but still understand, like, to some people, she doesn't seem like a great time, and that was a funny joke. So I just like funny jokes. And oh, by the way, if you don't like people like this being on your television as as front-facing personalities, I got bad news for you. Because did you hear what's coming to FS1 and Fox and everything else? They're bringing the whole Barstool crew.
I saw that. Yeah, that I think that's actually going to be huge for them. I do.
It will be huge for them.
Yeah,
and that's the other thing. Like, I knew when I woke up this morning I would be able to find so-and-so's offended by something Shane Gillis said. Like, it's everywhere. Sarah Spain has released a statement offended by jokes at an award show. Very on brand.
Okay.
Here's the thing. Like, at some point, this is the world we live in. This is where we're at as a country right now. Look who the president is, all right? I don't want to say everything starts from there and comes down, but, like, look who the president is. That's who we elected, all right? Shane Gillis might offend you, like you specifically, somewhere in a chat, but broadly speaking, he's not offending Americans. They're just sort of laughing at the funny stuff he says and maybe not laughing at the not so funny stuff he says, but he's not offensive for much of America, even if in your little group chat, he's the worst thing in the world. Similarly, that is what's happening right now with the Barstool thing. Dave Portnoy could not be hired at a major network 2 years ago, 4 years ago, 6 years ago. They are going to put him all over the place now, despite all of the controversy that comes with him, despite all of the sometimes problematic stuff he has said and done. And you want to know why? Because it's a reflection of where we're at as a country right now. Yeah, you might get offended by some things Dave Portnoy has said and done, and will say and do. I promise you it's coming. But broadly speaking, America is pretty comfortable with these types of people right now. And, you know, these very brash and in-your-face, like, people. We have a man who is described that way running the country right now. Shane Gillis will intentionally make you uncomfortable with comedy and comments. He's comfortable with that. And Portnoy, like, he'll take it to, you know, he'll shove everything right down your throat. Like, there's no secrets with him. He'll tell you what he thinks about anything, regardless of whether it's popular or not. And there seems to be a real appetite for that. I won't pretend I completely understand it, how Barstool has become what it's become and how Dave has become what he's become. But, like, there ain't no sense in denying what they've become and what he's become. Like, he's the biggest deal. They are massive deals. And they're also, like, they're good at what they do. You might not like what they do, but, like, Big Cat is good at what he does. And PFT is good at what he does. And a lot of those people there are just very good at what they do. And so it was always going to end up here, given the direction the country's going. And it has opened up a situation where it is quite reasonable and possibly incredibly profitable and great to bring those characters into your pregame show. And so Dave Portnoy is going to be on Fox, on that big pregame show that competes with College Game Day each Saturday this fall. And other Barstool employees are going to be in various FS1 shows. The official announcement's coming in the next couple of days, reportedly. So we'll get all the details. But, like, this is where the country is right now. If you turned on the television last night and was like, I can't believe ABC has this controversial comedian hosting this network television show, you just sort of lost track of where we are as a country right now. People might, how about this? I'll put it this way. This is how much the country has changed over the past decade or so. Once upon a time, the Barstool people had jobs at ESPN. It lasted one show, and they fired everybody and canceled everything and just said, we're not comfortable with these types of people representing us. I don't know that they said that exactly, but that was certainly what they meant. We thought this might be a good idea, but now that we're here and there's some pushback on it, we're not comfortable with this. All right? Once upon a time, Shane Gillis got fired from Saturday Night Live for something he once said. Do you realize that still is something he once said? The thing he got fired from Saturday Night Live for, that still exists. And yet now he hosts Saturday Night Live, and he hosts the ESPYs. 10 years ago, 5 years ago, the networks that would fire, quote, people like this are now jumping over each other to try to get people like this back on their networks because there's an audience for it. And so I don't know that it'll always be this way. I don't know that it's even a good thing or a bad thing. I'll let other people decide. But it is undeniably a thing. And if you're going to be offended every time you see it in your television, you better just, keep your TV off because it doesn't appear to be changing anytime soon.
Number 2.
Bradley Beal is no longer a member of the Phoenix Suns. He has accepted a buyout from Phoenix, left some money on the table there, and he will now be a member of the Los Angeles Clippers. And Bennett, I heard some people say the Clippers are now set up to be a top 4 team in the West. Do you agree or disagree?
I mean, no, I don't agree. I don't know how much it changes them. Listen, they lose Norman Powell. They bring in Bradley Beal, and they brought in John Collins too. Like they've definitely upgraded their roster. Don't get it twisted. I like Norman Powell though. Like Bradley Beal. It's been so long, dude. I just got to see it, right? Like I got to see him put together like a long stretch of games where he's performing at like a borderline all-star level to believe in that.
He wasn't bad last season.
No, he wasn't bad, but that team sucked.
The team sucked. But here's the bet that they've made in Los Angeles. It wasn't that they would rather have Bradley Beal than Norman Powell. It's that Norman Powell was in the last year of a contract, right. And at that point, it's like we either going to have to sign this guy for, in excess, a long-term deal, $30 million, for whatever it's going to be. We're going to have to commit in excess of $100 million, lots of years and lots of money to Norman Powell, or we need to get off of him. All right, let's get off of him then. We don't want to pay him, so let's move him. It would be like if the Grizzlies decided, for whatever reason, before this contract extension was done, that they have no interest in being in the Jaren Jackson Jr. business long term. We know what it's going to cost to have him here going forward, and we are not comfortable paying that price, so let's move him now. If the Grizzlies had decided that, they would be spending this offseason looking for trade partners for Jaren Jackson Jr. As it is, the Grizzlies want to be in the Jaren Jackson Jr. business, so you remake your roster to get an extension put on the table and agreed to. But the Heat just more or less decided we don't want to be in the Norman Powell. I mean, the Clippers decided we don't want to be in the Norman Powell business. And I don't know that they're better with Bradley Beal and without Norman Powell, but relative to what they were going to have to pay Norman Powell, it's a fraction of that for Bradley Beal. And so it's just I don't even want to say similar player, but a quality player at an extremely discounted price because the Suns are still going to be paying the bulk of his salary. And so it's just better on your books to have Bradley Beal and than it is to have Norman Powell moving forward. And there's some real thought that you might not lose much in terms of quality of your basketball team by making this move. I saw somebody joke yesterday on social media because, when things like this become breaking news, these accounts will ask these questions just to try to get engagement and get people, commenting back and forth underneath the post. And somebody asked the question. It was like Bradley Beal is a, big three, and it had a picture like put together of Bradley Beal, Kawhi Leonard, and James Harden. Yeah. And it says, what is going to keep these guys from finishing top 4 in the West or competing for the Western Conference title?
We don't get enough of those.
And do you know what the most quoted answer was? Like the one that got the most attention? Somebody jumped on there and said, so the question is again, like what keeps the Clippers from competing in the West or being top 4 in the West or something like that? And the answer was, probable, doubtful, and out. That's what.
Yep.
Yeah, those three dudes ain't going to play together very much. At least that was the joke. And there's obviously a lot of reasons to think that their history of injuries and their ages. Like, okay, in theory, on paper, when healthy and everybody's playing at the highest level they can play at, maybe there's something interesting. But do you really think you're going to get that? That sounds like the type of thing we talk about around here all the time. If everybody's healthy, and then you got to remind yourself very quickly, but everybody ain't always healthy. It's never healthy. Nobody's ever healthy. Nobody's ever healthy. But still, it makes sense for the Clippers. And this is where having strong ownership, a smart front office, and the LA market. Now, the Clippers haven't always had these things. I mean, they've always had the LA market, but they haven't always had smart ownership, good ownership, smart front office. But right now, I think they have strong ownership, a smart front office, and the LA market. And that puts you in position to do things like this. Bradley Beal had a no-trade clause. He forced Phoenix to buy him out of this contract. And then it's like, I can go anywhere I want to go because I'm going to make Phoenix pay most of my salary. I'm going to take like $3.9 million. I think that's what the number will be from my new franchise. And I'm not sure there's a franchise in the NBA who wouldn't want Bradley Beal at $3.9 million. Nobody wants him at 50.
That's right.
But who would want him at 3.9? I mean, he's still a shooter. He still shoots good percentages. He's a problem on the defensive end of the court, but like he's still useful at $4 million a year. So Bradley Beal's like, I can go basically anywhere I want to go now. Where do I want to go now? LA's nice.
Yeah.
LA's nice. Quality team. Got two superstar teammates when healthy, future Hall of Famers, and it's LA. And that's where I'd like my family to be. Phoenix to LA ain't too far, so we ain't got to move across the country again. So that's where the LA market actually helps the Clippers franchise. Strong ownership, smart front office, LA market has, in many ways, helped the Clippers get to this point where they're at right now. We'll see where they finish in the standings, but a lot of people are on the train now, that train being, if there's anybody in the West who could actually maybe somehow, some way compete with Oklahoma City, keep an eye on the Clippers.
Number 3.
Congratulations are in order. Pete Davidson and Elsie Hewitt have announced they are pregnant with their first child. You happy for them, Bennett? I'm thrilled.
Sure, yeah.
You look disappointed. Why are you disappointed? Did you see those pictures? Pete Davidson and Elsie, and she's got her little baby bump, and he looks so happy. Don't you like seeing Pete Davidson happy? He seems like a good guy, but he struggles sometimes in life. He's acknowledged this. I'm not telling Pete's secrets, and but in these pictures, he looked happy. I like seeing Pete Davidson look happy.
I do too.
You're not for his happy. Why are you against Pete Davidson's happiness?
No, I'm very happy for him. I'm a little disappointed in Pete though, because he got all of his tattoos removed, which I thought was kind of lame. That was like his signature. Why did he do that?
Well, I would let Pete speak for himself, but I believe the main reason he has stated for getting his tattoos largely removed is that he is a movie star now. Like he can be in films whenever he wants to be in films, and not every character he's going to play is going to be tatted up head to toe.
Okay, they make concealer for that.
Yeah, and he was spending like 4 hours a day in a makeup chair, and he was like, "I don't want to." He was like, "I don't want to keep sitting in a makeup chair all day every day," and the best way to do that, to prevent that, is get a lot of this stuff removed. You don't have to cover it up. It's not here.
Because I was going to, like, Tom Hardy, he's covered in tattoos, and you never see him in his movies because he got them all covered up.
He's probably in a makeup chair for a long, long time. Like me, I'm in a makeup chair for 10 minutes. They ain't much they can do to me. Just powder and they ain't much you can do for me. But like, if you're an actor and you're playing an actor without these tattoos and they've got to be concealed, that takes a long time. Plus, I imagine you get 1 million tattoos. I don't have any. I never got a tattoo. Should I get one?
Yeah, why not?
I never got a tattoo. Here's my
Everybody's got them now, dude. You got CEOs with tattoos, yeah.
Oh, speaking of CEOs, that buddy had a rough one last night. You see that one?
Oh my God! I wish we would have put that in 5 things. I'm so glad you brought that up. You're talking about the Coldplay concert, of course.
Yeah.
I don't know, Kyra. We're gonna talk about that. Kyra, can you try to find that video? It's somewhere. Okay, it's
everywhere.
Okay, basically. Oh, I think she's get it. Okay. Basically, to set it up, GP, there's a Coldplay concert, and I think it's playing in my ear right now. There's a Coldplay concert and there's this, they do like the big camera on the jumbo, and they show people in the crowd like having fun at the concert. And there's a guy and a lady, and it shines, and they look like they're having a great time. They're all cuddled up and whatnot. And as soon as the camera hits them, they both duck. Oh, here it is. Okay, here it goes. We can't play the music. Oh, whoa. Don't show us on camera. Why not? And it turns out.
It turns out both of those people, I believe, are married, but not to each other. And that is the CEO of a company, the man, and that woman works for him.
I want to say in HR. I want to say in HR.
Oh, this is
busted.
It's definitely an HR violation. Look, I can laugh at that and like everybody else, I guess. But do you know what I thought when I saw that, really? Like, once I got
I feel bad for their spouses.
That's just like those are families that are messed up now.
Oh, dude. And it's like, oh, man, you're right. Because, like, I've seen other, like, people are, like, flooding his wife's, Facebook and her husband's Facebook.
It's rough.
Yeah.
And they're showing her support, but she would rather be anonymous. I guarantee it. Right? Everybody's, like, showing her support, but, like, that woman's life is wrecked right now. Like when I watch that, here's what I think of. Those two people, stupid and irresponsible and reckless as they might have been. Don't let me judge, but obviously I bet they regret everything. When I saw that, I woke up to it this morning, and most people, I guess, go, ha, 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 and I went, oh, man, I bet they're having the worst day of their lives today. That's what I said. That's when I look at those two people, I go, they're having the worst day of their lives today, right now.
I said ha, 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 but I get it. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, like there's kids involved. It's just messy, really,
really
what? Messy.
You know what, too? Like, if they would have just not jumped out of the camera frame, it doesn't blow up. No, somebody sees that video and is like, what happened here? And post it on the internet. It's like, what happened here?
Well, it's not even that. Like, Chris Martin from Coldplay brought attention to it. Like, once they duck out of the camera, he literally says into the microphone, 50,000 people. He says into the microphone, they are either having an affair or they are extremely shy. So,
damn, Chris.
Well, he was right, He was right. And so that brought all the attention to it. So maybe there's a life lesson in there. If you're going to go to a concert with your mistress, if a camera happens to get on you, just play it cool. And if you play it cool, the people in the stadium will see you, but probably nobody else ever. But when you do that, now Chris Martin notices it. Now somebody's got a camera on it. And now they're talking about it everywhere today. It's just it was a rough situation.
Yikes.
It was a rough situation. So anyway, I know CEOs have tattoos, Bennett. And
yes.
Grandmothers, great-grandmothers, I guess, at this point as well. Mm-hmm. We're running around with a world filled with tattoos. I never got one. And I think the reason is because I was smart enough when I was young to know this. What is it that I love? I'm 18 years old. I'm 19 years old. What is it that I love right now that I would want to put on my body that I will still love when I'm 30, 40, 50? Like when I was 18 years old, I think if you'd have asked me, so what's your favorite band? I might have said like 9 Inch Nails. And I still respect Trent Reznor immensely. Those albums made an impact on me. But if I'm walking around with a 9 Inch Nails tattoo right now, you'd think I'm an idiot. You'd make fun of me for that. Wouldn't you?
Probably not. No.
If I had the NIN on my arm, and I was just always
I'm sure a lot of people
like,
have. I'm sure a lot of people have that.
If you saw somebody, I was aware enough to know anything I put on my body now, I will probably grow out of and not like, other than 3 things. And I've said this before, kind of jokey, but I think maybe one day I'll do it just because it'll be funny. If I can ever find a reason to do it, because this is a real thought I had. Because I think about dumb stuff like this all the time. I said, okay. I imagine when I'm 40, I'm probably not going to think 9 Inch Nails is the greatest band of all time. I think that at 18, but 18-year-olds are stupid sometimes. I'm probably going to grow out of this phase. But what are some things that I actually enjoy right now that I'm pretty confident I'll still like these when I'm 30. I'll still like these things when I'm 40. I'll still like these things when I'm 50. And I came up with a list of 3 things. I swear to God, this is a real conversation I have with myself. And the 3 things I came up with were the Beatles. I figure 40-year-olds who liked the Beatles when they were 20 still like the Beatles. So, like, the Beatles seem to stand the test of time. I imagine I'm going to like the Beatles the rest of my life. And sitting here on July 17, 2025, I can tell you that is true. The Beatles hold up. If you like the Beatles when you're 15, you're going to like the Beatles when you're 45. If you like the Beatles when you're 8 years old, you're going to like the Beatles when you're 58 years old. So I was like, okay, the Beatles, that's one. I think I'll always like the Beatles. And I was like, Taco Bell. I think I'll always like Taco Bell. And as I'm sitting here on July 17th, 2025, I can tell you, I had Taco Bell 2 days ago. I still love Taco Bell. Love it. All right? And then the last thing I came up with was Dr. Pepper. I was like, man, I love Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
And I bet you I'm always going to love Dr. Pepper. And Bennett, I don't mind showing you. This was sitting right here in my room. The Diet Dr. Pepper. Now, I had to cut away from the real Dr. Peppers, Diet Dr. Peppers. You know, got to watch calories and stuff. But I assumed when I was 18, the only 3 things I liked then that I would still like when I got old were the Beatles, Taco Bell, and Dr. Pepper. And it is remarkable. I still do enjoy all 3 of those. I've enjoyed all 3 of those things this week. Like, I've had my car on the Beatles channel at some point. I've drank a Dr. Pepper, and I've had Taco Bell. So here was my tattoo idea. Get a tattoo on my arm of John Lennon holding a Mexi Melt in one hand and a Dr. Pepper bottle in the other hand. Wouldn't that be funny? And when people said, GP, what is that tattoo? I was like, those are the 3 things I've liked my whole life. John Lennon, Mexi Melts, and Dr. Pepper. Everything else comes and goes. Everything else comes and goes. I might love you someday, not love you another day. I might tell you I love you when I'm 17 years old and not even remember your middle name when I'm 48 years old. Everything else can come and go, but the staples in my life, forever loves, outside of my family, of course, it's John Lennon, Taco Bell, and Dr. Pepper. Should I, all these years later, go ahead and go through with it, get John Lennon holding a Mexi Melt and a Dr. Pepper?
And just to clarify, like, you'd get this over, like, you know, your kids' names or your wife's name. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
definitely.
Just wanted to put that out there. I think you should do it.
John Lennon holding a Mexi Melt and a Dr. Pepper.
I think you should do it. I
It's a
could
great
put
tattoo,
you in
and it has
touch.
real
I could put you
meaning.
in touch with somebody. We could get that done this week.
Oh, I have a tattoo guy. Shouts to Anthony Max.
You got somebody? Okay, good,
man,
good.
I grew up with Anthony Max. I got a tattoo guy.
All right,
okay?
good.
Okay, I just never used him, but I got one. But I think that would be a good conversation starter. GP, look at that tattoo. What's that?
Yeah.
These are
I
the
like
3
that.
things.
I like it. I'm down.
These are the only 3 things. These are the only 3 things I have liked consistently my entire life. Friends, mostly, they can come and go. Lovers can come and go. But Taco Bell, John Lennon, and Dr. Pepper have been there for me through good times and bad. They've always been there for me. I think I might get that tattoo someday.
I like it. Let's do it.
Okay, back to Pete Davidson.
Yes.
Also, I bet the reason he's getting most of them taken off is, makeup reasons for casting. But also, I bet you there's some stupid stuff he's put on his body. I bet you some of the stupid stuff I was scared to put on my body, he put on his body.
Oh yeah, I mean, some of his tattoos were stupid. Don't get it twisted. I've seen
Kim Kardashian's kids tattooed on his
Okay, so then
neck.
get it covered up by a different one. Like that's my only point.
Okay. I'm going to let Pete Davidson make his own decisions
That's
about
fine.
his tattoos.
It's not a big deal. I still love Pete. I think he's great.
I'm just happy for him. He looks happy, so I'm happy for him. Elsie Hewitt, she announced it. They had never really, I think, publicly confirmed in any sort of like real TMZ type of way that they were in a relationship. It was just like they were spotted together here and spotted together there, and they must be a thing. But I don't know if either one of them ever spoke on it in any sort of detail. So the way she announced the pregnancy yesterday on social media. It's like a picture, and they're like, baby bump, all that stuff, and then she types in the text, well, I guess people now know we had sex.
That's pretty good.
It's not bad.
That's
Elsie
pretty
Hewitt.
good.
Hey, so here's a story for you. When Elsie Hewitt, it first gets linked publicly, and Pete Davidson's got a new girlfriend.
Who is she, by the way?
She's from London. She's a model and an actress.
I figured she was a model. Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to have to be a model. You can't even get in this story if you ain't a model, all right? You can't get in the door if you ain't a model. She's a model. She's a classic model / actress.
Gotcha.
But good luck trying to name something she's been in. I think there's something to do with some Ninja Turtles at one point, but she ain't.
Really? I love the Ninja Turtles.
She wasn't at the Oscars. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
I got you.
But like Pete Davidson, because he dated Ariana Grande and dated Kim Kardashian and dated all these famous, beautiful women. Like Pete Davidson's dating life that's big news for TMZ and Page Six and everybody else. So as soon as he starts dating Elsie Hewitt, like it's everywhere. Oh, look, there's Pete Davidson and Elsie Hewitt courtside at a Knicks game, or there's Pete Davidson and Elsie Hewitt, and they must be a couple now. And so when all this happens, I think it was during basketball. I just remember having Brent Stover. My friend Brent Stover.
Yep.
He's a host of CBS Sports. Single man. The best guy. So, on the side, like he has a real passion for playing music as well. So he likes to play. I don't think he has aspirations to ever perform at the CMAs, but like he likes to pick up a guitar and write songs and play songs, and that's the way he genuinely has a love for it. And so he plays around New York City quite often, and I've gone to see him play a few times, and it's always a good time. He's in a bar in Brooklyn a year ago, let's say, within the past year or two. He's in a bar in Brooklyn, and he's about to go on stage, and this woman approaches him and is like, "So are you playing tonight?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm playing." And she's like, "Oh, really? So blah 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 blah." And they just start talking. He does not know who this woman is at all. She's just a obviously attractive young woman. I think she's 29 years old now. And she approached him, and they're talking, and they're like having a real conversation. And then he's like, all right, well, I got to go, and jumps right on stage and starts playing, and never saw her again and never thought about it really again. But at some point in the night, somebody was like, "Oh, I saw you talking to Elsie Hewitt." And he's like, "What?" And he's like, the woman who came up to you right before you came on stage. He's like, "Oh, yeah." And they were like, "Elsie Hewitt." He's like, "What are you talking? I don't know what you're saying." He's like, "She's a famous person." He's like, "What?" So he like looked and like then figured out, oh my God, like this super famous person was, and to be clear, like not trying to pick him up necessarily or anything like that. It's just she approached him and they were having a real conversation, and he didn't recognize who he was having a conversation with. And then they just go their separate ways. And the next time he sees her, she's dating Pete Davidson. So when this comes down yesterday, I sent him the story, and I was like, "Stove, that could have been your baby bump."
He fumbled
bad. Fumbled Elsie Hewitt.
The bag, yeah.
Fumbled
That's
Elsie
tough.
Hewitt. It could have been Stove's baby bump, right? But on the other hand, at least now in 7 months, he's not going to have a baby, Stove, and so he can keep watching The Bear, as much as he wants.
I have 2 kids, and I watch The Bear. It's fine. You
It's
find
just tough.
time. You'll find time.
Me and Darnell were talking about it last week. Marriage is not the thing that changes your life. Relationships not the thing that changes. Babies change your life. And then people go, "But how? How does it change your life to have a baby?" And then you say things like, "Well, do you like eating dinner?" "Yeah, I like dinner." "Okay, good. You're not really doing that anymore because that's going to be a nightmare. You don't like going to restaurants for dinner, do you? Because you're not doing that. That's a disaster."
God, that sounds awful.
Okay, well, do you like watching movies? Like you get off work, come home, settle down, jump on the couch, watch a movie. "Yeah, I like watching movies." "Okay, well, you ain't doing that anymore. You're watching Bluey now."
I do both, actually. I push back on that.
You can watch Bluey until the baby falls asleep,
and then you just stay up late.
And then as soon as then you stay up late, then you finally fall asleep. Then guess who wakes up needing a bottle or a booby? It's that baby. So on one hand, could have been Stove's baby bump. On the other hand, baby bumps lead to babies, and then you don't get to watch as much TV anymore. So I'll let other people figure out who won this one and who lost this one.
Number 5.
The Open Championship is underway at Royal Portrush.
Oh, my bad. That was number 4.
Bennett.
Number 4.
Explain to me
in
what
fairness,
makes these buttons
we covered like 5 stories during the Pete Davidson thing.
We did.
Yeah.
That, you know what? I don't need to ridicule right now. I recognize that. I would have never assumed that punching buttons that go number 1, number 2,
it's a new
number
studio.
3, number 4, number 5. I would never have assumed that would be difficult.
I'm not in my comfort zone.
But now I know it is obviously more difficult than I realized because, well, you know. The Open Championship's happening right now, Royal Portrush in Northern Ireland. Do you see where Scotty Scheffler's at?
Where's Scotty?
Oh, he finished it 3 under par, shot a 68. He's just 1 shot off the lead. Roy McIlroy, if you're interested, -1 through 6.
Okay.
He is tied for 19th right now. Those are the 2 biggest names. And this comes after Scheffler held that really interesting press conference earlier in the week. Did you see that? It was like a 5-minute answer.
I did.
I thought it was great and also enlightening. I don't know that it enlightened me because I've talked to enough athletes and super successful people to know that the thing you're chasing usually doesn't fulfill you. But it was interesting to hear him explain it. He sounded really conflicted. He was like, sometimes I actually question myself, like, why do I care so much about winning this golf tournament? He said, because I did work my whole life to get to be in this position. And I can just tell you, as you're working and dreaming and climbing, it's always about, and if I could ever win the Masters or be ranked #1 in the world or win a whatever, then I will have everything that I've ever wanted in life. And he's like, I actually am somebody who has done all of these things. I've accomplished everything I set out to accomplish. I've reached my dreams. Most people don't reach their dreams. Like, I have a wonderful life, me personally, but I haven't reached my dreams. My dreams were to play second base for the Mets. Now, it wasn't a realistic dream, but like, that was my dream. My dream wasn't to do this. This was my second dream after I realized I can't play second base for the Mets. My life is going incredibly well. I'm incredibly happy with the way things have turned out, but it's not like it's not my dream. Scotty Scheffler is one of the few people on the planet who actually reaches his dream. I want to be the best golfer in the world. You are. And you know what he says? And then I win the Masters. And you know how long it lasts? That feeling that you think is going to be there? You know how long it lasts? 2 minutes. It's a euphoric feeling for about 2 minutes. And then I'm back to what I was. You climb this mountain and you get to the top and it's like, okay, I'm here. Now what? It doesn't feel the way I thought it would feel. It doesn't fulfill me the way I assumed it would fulfill me. And for just the best golfer in the world to put that into words, I thought was interesting and also can be helpful. Because trust me, there are a million people in life, in all walks of life, who are just constantly chasing the ideas of something. And it's like, if I ever get this job, or if I ever got this relationship, or if I ever made this much money, or if I've ever accomplished these things, then that's when I'll finally be happy. And the truth is, it rarely works that way. Just in terms of, my life has changed dramatically, like from the time I was 20 to the time I'm 48 years old. Like I have a life that I couldn't have imagined at that age. And I'm very pleased. I'm very pleased with the way my life has turned out. But just in terms of my day-to-day feeling, like just walking around, how do I feel today? I don't feel any different than I've ever really felt. You can have a bigger house and the nicer cars and all that stuff, and it doesn't fulfill you in the ways that you think. I still walk around day-to-day feeling exactly the way, for the most part, I've always felt. Everything around me has changed, but I haven't really changed that much, what I carry around with me. And that's more or less what Scotty Scheffler was saying. Like, you think these things are going to make you happy and fulfill you, and it's like, it doesn't do it for me. It doesn't. Winning all of this stuff does not do anything for me. It makes me wealthy and allows me to provide for my family, but it doesn't do anything in here for me. And we really don't hear the best athletes in the world talk like that all the time. But I know that feeling is not unique to Scotty Scheffler. So it was just interesting to hear him verbalize all that this week and then come out and boom, he's right in contention again. Like, okay, I just spent 5 minutes explaining to you how I question why this is important to me. I question why I work so hard to do these things. I'm telling you it doesn't mean as much to me as I thought it would. But now it's time to go compete and play, and I'm going to kick everybody's ass. He can still do that. He can still flip it on. Because he did, while saying it doesn't fulfill me, he still said, when I'm out there, I'm having a blast, and I want to win. But I'm just telling you, the winning doesn't really do anything for me. The losing would kill me, but the winning doesn't take me to a place I always assumed it would take me. So if you missed that earlier in the week, I say go watch it because it can be helpful to your own life, regardless of what your life consists of. And as for the leaderboard, right now, just one shot off the lead, 3 under 68. Scotty Scheffler is the highest placed American on the leaderboard in this moment.
Number 5.
If you're wondering why I'm down here in Augusta, Georgia, it's because just across the state line from Augusta, Georgia is North Augusta, South Carolina. So when we're done with this show, I'll grab an Uber and take a car over to the Riverview Parks Activity Center where Peach Jam is happening once again. Team Thad plays today. Got a nice little note on Twitter from one of Team Thad's players, a young man who goes to Lausanne, and he was tagging me and several other people, but it was like cute. Like it made me smile. He was like, hey, if you're here, come watch me play. And so I'm going to do that.
Right on, man.
Let's get the young man's name and shout him out if I can find it. His name's Calvin Pittman III. Appears to play for Team Thad and attend school at Lausanne. And he's apparently here at Peach Jam with Team Thad and said, more or less, here's my schedule. Here's when I'm playing. Come see me. So I'm going to take that young man up on his offer.
Respect.
And go see him tonight. And really just the reason I come here, it's interesting, these grassroots events. I used to come here because initially, I was a Memphis beat writer, and John Calipari was recruiting, a lot of the best prospects in the country, and the best place to get access to them was in Vegas at those grassroots events or here at Peach Jam at these grassroots events. And you just walk around, and anybody Memphis was recruiting, like that was a story for you. Then I moved to cover the sport in a different way, and I'm not really in the recruiting stuff like I used to. Like I used to be like, yeah, the 72nd player in the class, and I've seen him play 3 times, and I can tell you everything about him. Now I know like the top 10 guys each year, and sporadically another guy here or there. But I don't need to know it that way. The way you have to know it when you're covering a specific team, recruiting in specific ways. So now I just come, and it's a great place to see coaches that you've known for years or that you haven't met yet. Like when I first got to CBS, the TV ad component of my job didn't exist. I was just a writer. And so I bounced around the country all the time, and I would spend 3 days at Ohio State, 3 days at UCLA, 3 days at Alabama, 3 days at Duke, 3 days at Carolina. And I was just on campuses around these people all the time. And that's how you develop these relationships. I don't do that anymore. I just go back and forth to New York every week, and I sit in a studio. I was on a college campus, I think, 1 time, maybe 2 times all last season. I probably went to fewer than 5 games all last season. I just sit in a studio. So I don't see these people anymore. So it's a good place to see coaches. It's a good place to see who are going to be the next big things in the sport. Like this upcoming season, I will spend a lot of words talking about A.J. DeBanza, who is a 5-star recruit going to BYU, and in my opinion, the front runner to be the number 1 pick of the 2026 NBA draft. You know me. I love to tell you something 17 times. So I don't know how many times I'll be on a podcast or on television and DeBanza comes up and I'll say, I sat down with him at Peach Jam 3 years ago after his freshman year of high school. I'll have that story to always pull from. And just talking on television, it lends credibility. You know why you always hear people say, I was talking to Rick Barnes earlier today, or I was talking on TV? It's so you can just acknowledge, hey, I'm talking to these people. And this is another version of that.
Yeah.
You're on TV and you say, yeah, so I sat down with A.J. DeBanza at Peach Jam after his freshman year of high school, and that's when I really first got to know him. And it just sounds like, oh, this guy on TV, like he really does know these people. Here's the truth. I've met A.J. DeBanza once. I spent 20 minutes with him, but I've got that story, and I'll circle back to it 1,000,000 times. So you get that out of this as well. You're going to see the next big stars. You'll also see somebody you've never even heard of and go, ooh, keep an eye on him. But it's a good place to spend a few days, and it's always a top shelf event. So when we're done here, I'll pop over there. I'll see Team Thad today, and at some point tomorrow when we're discussing all things Peach Jam, I'll tell you what I saw. Be back with GP's Carryout.
It's time for our Pick 6, Mike. 6 classics that we're most looking forward to in the 2025 football season.
Las Vegas, obviously, that's the Grambling State University, Jackson State University clash. They're taking 2 iconic HBCU brands going to an NFL stadium in Las Vegas.
Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle,
with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
Have you always dreamed of entertaining on the biggest stage in Memphis? The Claw Crew is looking for members to join their team for the 2025-2026 season. Claw Crew members are hardworking, high-energy entertainers who assist Grizzlies home games by hyping up the crowd and much more. Not only do they support the Grizzlies on home games, but also promote in Memphis and across the Mid-South. Open auditions are Saturday, August 9th at FedEx Forum. Visit grizzlies.com/auditions for more information and to register today.
The First Ladies of FedEx Forum, the Grizz Girls, are known across the NBA for setting the standard for professional dance and entertainment. And they are looking for dancers to join their team for the 2025-2026 season. With the chance to gain professional dance experience, collaborate with national and local artists, and connect with the Memphis community, auditioning for the Grizz Girls is an opportunity you do not want to miss. Come show up and show out at Open Call Auditions. Visit grizzlies.com/auditions now for more information.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, one exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals takes it straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season. Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Catch us if you can at Southland Casino Hotel and win your share of up to $1.8 million in free play and prizes. Join us for drawings every Saturday in May, June, and July. Each month, over 900 winners will take home free play or drive off in a new car or motorcycle. Be there for all 6 grand finale drawings and try to catch us if you can, only at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 up. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
By Ortho South. We are not inside the Built Ford Tough studio right now because I am at Peach Jam in Augusta, Georgia. Big Bet Bennett back in the big studio. How's construction going at FedEx Forum, Bennett? Can you hear it over there?
I cannot, but I think everything's going smooth. I think by the time, well, no, you'll be here on Monday, so we'll
be here on Monday.
I think we still got a few more weeks in this studio. Yeah.
Hey, but they're getting real work done. I saw the signs up yesterday. They said, hey, unless you work in construction, do not even think about walking through this door. So I just turned right around.
That's right.
And went the other way. You'd be thrilled to know I got here to my hotel. I was like, I'm going to escape the construction of FedEx Forum. I'll just be able to live in a construction-free zone in a hotel. And I got here, and the first thing I saw were signs on the doors that said we are undergoing construction as well.
Oh, nice. That's always fun.
Just always banging and drilling all around me these days. Yeah. I'll survive, though. Let's wrap this up with GP's Carryout.
It's time for GP's Carryout. One final segment filled with stuff to take with you. It's not everything you need to know, but it's most of it. What did we learn today?
A whole bunch of stuff, but let's circle back to the Coldplay conversation because Coldplay has released a statement on the incident. I don't know that they released a statement, but they did tweet something. Can I read you the tweet?
Yeah, sure.
This is direct from Coldplay's official X account.
Okay.
Starting with our next show, we're introducing camera-free audience sections for people and their side pieces.
That's pretty good. Is that real?
Man. That's what it appears to be real. I saw it.
That's pretty good, Coldplay. I thought they were going to say something like, we're so sorry, or I don't know.
I thought they might say we're not going to do that anymore because we just ruined people's lives.
Yeah.
And to be fair, let me be clear.
They didn't ruin anybody's lives.
The people in the video, they made their decisions. If their lives are messed up, they messed them up themselves. Mm-hmm. And did you see the other lady like in the background sort of smiling real big?
Yes.
And she's like also, the internet's already figured this all out.
They're all co-workers?
Oh, yeah. And so what this wife at home knows is that all of you people who were nice to me at the Christmas party knew this was going on. And it's just messy. It's messy. I understand why everybody's getting a kick out of it, but I don't know. When I watched that, it did not make me laugh as much as it made me go, "Oh man, what have they done?" Because like those are families that get roped in. Like this is a hard day for a lot of people who had nothing to do with what was going on at that Coldplay concert last night. So I get why it's become a big deal. Like, here we are talking about it as well. But I bet you those people, you think you're going to a Coldplay concert, you're going to have the time of your life, and by the time it's over, you might have done messed yours up real good. So I don't know if the Coldplay tweet is real or not, but I saw it on the internet, and I guess that's good enough these days, right?
What's today's biggest game?
I mean, Bennett, we're struggling. There ain't much going on. We ain't got Major League Baseball. Major League Baseball and the WNBA should not have all-star weeks at the same time. Can we agree on that?
I completely agree on that. That's ridiculous.
Because tonight we won't have a Major League Baseball game. That doesn't restart till tomorrow. And tonight we won't have any WNBA games because it is All-Star Weekend. Special shouts to Glow.
Where's she going to be?
She's performing at WNBA All-Star Weekend.
Oh, awesome. Right on.
Yeah, it's awesome. I would prefer you show a little more excitement about Big Glow.
No, that's great. That's perfect. I'll watch.
Yeah, I'm going to watch too. So we don't have WNBA. We don't have Major League Baseball. We're not gambling on the Grizzlies. That's been frowned upon. So let's just go 8 o'clock Central, ESPN, Celtics and Lakers Summer League live from the Thomas and Mack Center.
Jeez.
What do you want me to do? What do you want me to give you?
That's all I got to work with here. Okay.
I mean, I guess I could look up an MLS game if you wanted me to, but that don't seem like
I'm
that's
good.
fun for anybody.
That's okay.
Celtics Lakers. Boston is a 2.5-point favorite. The total is 175.5. How you going to act?
Is Bronny playing?
Bennett, you can't ask me questions like that. I don't even know who's playing for the Grizzlies.
Okay, the Summer Celtics are. Let's see. Hang on. Let me get the record pulled up here. The Summer Celtics are 2-1. The Lakers are 1-2. Summer Celtics still have something to play for, so of course I'm going with them.
Bennett says lay that 2.5 with Boston tonight. 8 o'clock Central tip live. You can watch it on ESPN.
What are we watching on TV?
Got a win last night, by the way.
Did you?
Yeah, the Liberty blasted the Fever. Isn't that our game last night?
Yeah. They killed them. You laid 9.5 and killed them. No Caitlin Clark once again. Can I interest you in Untamed?
Sure. What is it?
It's a new limited series on Netflix. It ranks number 1 right now at Netflix in most watched television shows of the day. It's got 78% approval on the tomato meter. In the vast expanse of Yosemite National Park, a woman's death draws a federal agent into lawless terrain where nature obeys no rules but its own. Nature obeys no rules but its own.
And this is a documentary?
No, it's a show.
Oh, it's a show.
Eric Bana. You familiar with Eric Bana?
Yeah, he was the Hulk once upon a time.
Was he?
Yeah, he was also in Troy.
Well, good for him.
Yeah.
Well, now he's in Untamed, and it's
and
number
Munich.
1 now. Well, good for him. Good for him. Now he's in Untamed, and it's streaming right now on Netflix, and it's number 1. It's got good reviews, so if you're looking for something to watch, there's an option for you.
What's the best thing we've read?
Well, we did a dribble handoff, CBSSports.com this morning that is now published. David Cobb has already tweeted it. I will retweet it at some point. Basically, the question for those of us who write about college basketball at CBS Sports, the question was this. Name a team that's going to make a big jump from last season to this season. And there's obviously a lot of good candidates for that. I went with BYU, in part because of the young man we mentioned earlier, A.J. DeBanson. Number 1 prospect, in my opinion, in the class. Others might go with Cameron Boozer. Others might go with Darren Peterson. It's kind of a 3-man class at the top, and they're all excellent. Like they probably go in some order 1, 2, 3 in the 2026 NBA draft. DeBanson has enrolled at BYU. They used millions of dollars in the transfer portal. brought back 2 starters from a team that was playing like a top 10 team over the final roughly 2 months of the season. So they were good last year, but I think they're going to be great this year. I've got them ranked 3rd in the top 25 and 1 behind only St. John's and Houston. So if you want to read that, you can find it cbssports.com.
What's on tap for tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow will be Friday. That means I'll be joined by Jessica Benson. She'll be in Memphis. I'll still be here in Augusta, but I'll chop it up with her. We'll look back at the Grizzlies' final Summer League game. Keep an eyeball on that open leaderboard and get us headed in the weekend good. Looking forward to it. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'm going to try to enjoy mine, and we're going to meet back here tomorrow at 10. Till then, be careful, be kind, be good. Rep your hood.
There are futures for Aaron Judge possibly hitting 400. Hitting 400 at the All-Star break, plus 600.
Oh, wow.
To have a 400 batting average in the regular season, plus 3,800. To win the Triple Crown is only plus 145.
I don't think he's going to hit 400 for the season.
I don't either. I that would be
ridiculous.
Yes, ridiculous.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Creed. By overwhelming demand, the Summer of '99 tour returns. July 27th, FedEx Forum. With very special guest, Daughtry. And Mammoth. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com. Don't miss Creed with Daughtry and Mammoth. The Summer of '99 tour.
1, 2, 3. Ready, go.
Have you talked to Norvell since the game?
Yeah, but we're close friends, so it's not one of those. Like, I think it's a little bit.
How long before you said ha 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 ha?
Hey, you sent him a text and said, "You want the box score?" You sent him the box score. You want to see the picture of me in the locker room afterwards?
How close are you? Because it would have taken me literally 30 seconds.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Shinedown. Dance Kid Dance Tour. Live in Memphis. FedEx Forum, Saturday, August 30th. With special guests, Bush and Morgan Wade. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Shinedown, live in concert. For more, visit shinedown.com.